All right. Let's see. Okay. Can you guys see my screen? Okay. I believe we are live. Now, I'm not sure if this is coming through. So, I'll wait for some people to join in, and we'll talk about the markets right now. Hey, Hunter, welcome to the stream. Is the audio and the video quality good? I'm not too certain what's going on here, but yeah, so we'll wait for some people to come on in. Hey, Tango Tango, how's my day going? It's going well. It's going well. We're seeing some pretty rapid developments in the market, so I really want to, LABU moving down very quickly. I really wanted to come on and talk about the markets quickly as we are developing this. Audio clear, video clear, good? Okay. So welcome everyone to the live stream. We're looking at the intraday chart of the SPY or the S&P 500. So here's the deal with this, right? You guys can see that we've made a lower low today. But the one thing that our group has been trying to monitor and is really a capitulation, a sell-off. And this is not what we're seeing right here. Scary market day. Perhaps, right? And you know the acronym, and people talk about this. When there is blood on the streets, what happens? That's when the chance of opportunity comes in. And right now, we're seeing some developments of some panic going on because, for example, pointing to you guys, does this mean that this is a bottom? Just intraday looking at this, and I can tell you that this doesn't look like a bottom. There looks like more downside to come. But just looking at some of the tickers on the left-hand side of your screen, right? You can see Netflix down over 7%, Nvidia down over 6%, right? The SOX, SOXL down over 13%. You mentioned LABU. What's going on with that chart? That's down over 18%, right? So obviously there's some problems in the market, some big problems in the market. And so here's SPY, right? You guys can see intraday chart. Is this the bottom? I betcha this is not the bottom. 268 from what we're seeing right now today. Could this hold intraday? It could, but even that, I wouldn't put too much weight on that. So looking at the yearly chart, what are we doing now? So for a bottoming pattern to really occur, we really need, this would have been okay, but we're focusing on today's close. This would have been okay, but if we start closing like this at the end of the day, then that is no good, and that is signaling more downside to come. That's just based off of that pattern because it's broken my support level of 269.36. In order for the markets to, at the very least, continue to be buoyant around this area, it needs to push into that boxed area. And right now, you can see that we're below it at the moment. So there is still 40 minutes left in the markets, granted, but if you just look at this chart, this doesn't look like a, it doesn't look like a reversal pattern, even if it gets up here, right? It doesn't look like a reversal pattern back to the upside. But we've seen volatile movements in the markets, right? Just look at yesterday, right? We've came down, but then we ended up going higher. Anything can happen, but this is so far short term not looking good. Are there any tickers that you guys are interested in? I think some of you guys did mention LABU. So LABU, I talked about this one. And yeah, feel free to comment in the chat because I'm going to be reading your comments from the chat section. And if you have any tickers you want me to look at, I'm happy to do so for you guys right now. So here's LABU, right? This is Boll Biotech. And biotech is really taking a beating right now. And you guys can see yesterday I put in a box. I said this area is a good area possibly where you could get in. But once we start breaking below this area, if you have set a stop because these ETFs can move rather quickly, then you have to be out, right? So LABD, you know, obviously looking terrible. And if I take you guys to the 3-year chart, what's happening? Well, on the 3-year chart, you guys can see that we've broken the support, 52.13. That support needs to be held, and you know, if the markets don't recover, LABU is not going to recover, and this one is in big trouble. The next support is around 43.39, but once again, high volatility means there's a big range of support levels, but since it dropped so dramatically, I'm not expecting a rapid incline. Look at this. Dropped rather dramatically. How long did it take before we eventually recovered? And this took over a year to recover, right? It took a long time. So even when we settled down at a low, even when we're trying to settle down at a low, we will have opportunities for this one, but this one is not showing a low just yet. And therefore, you know, the inverse has to be the one that you've been interested in. So here's the inverse, taking you guys to the yearly chart. Here's the inverse. Are we overextending the short term? Yes, but that's LABD for you guys, showing that, you know, we've pretty much came up here. Can it go higher? Sure, it can go higher, especially if markets continue to drop. Just be on the lookout for that. Okay, Mehdi, welcome to the channel. Glad to see you here. So let's take a look at AMD right now. So AMD is one that we've kind of talked about since it was around the $30 range, and this prognosis really hasn't changed that much. And the reason is I took you guys to the 20-year monthly chart, and this is pretty evident. Obviously, the market's falling is helping its cause to fall at least, but you shouldn't be, catching a falling stone or something, right? A falling rock. So here we go. Here's a lower low. Every single time we've hit it, we've gotten rejected off that level, and it's by no surprise that we got rejected off again. We actually managed to retest earlier this month. Can you guys see that we retested over the $30 mark? But I believe we hit the high, like it was like a very quick like intraday spike, and then that was it, and then that moved on lower. So AMD, there's a lot of potential for this one to go lower. So just be careful with this one, as this one has moved up quite significantly, but when it drops, look at how much it can drop. Now, I'm not saying that it's going to get to $1.61, but I'm saying that the potential to get to 20, 15, right? 1570 is certainly there, and the market is helping it get there. So yeah, that's AMD. Thanks for the call out. Apple. Great one to talk about because Apple makes up a major component of the NASDAQ, right? So one thing you want to keep in mind with Apple is that next week is earnings, right? And if I take you guys to the yearly chart, is there anything wrong with Apple's pattern? Well, the answer here is no. And, oh, can you guys still hear me? I don't know. It said stream pause, so... let me see. Can you guys still hear me? Okay, so let's see. I'm not sure if the stream just went down. Okay, let's see. Oh, okay, you guys can still hear me. So here's the deal with Apple, right? You're looking at Apple on the yearly chart. There's not much wrong with this chart pattern, and that this is pretty much a bull flag pattern, right? So that we could have the possible next push up. Now, the thing about Apple is yesterday we had quite a significant move back to the upside, right? Can you guys see how Apple moved significantly higher? Today, we retraced a portion of this move. So you can almost think Apple as almost like a safe haven as this market's dropping. The market's dropping significantly, but Apple's only retracing a portion of the move. What is Apple telling us? This chart is telling us that we are likely to see higher prices in the future. So this is one of the few charts where I could say that there hasn't been technical damage done to this chart. Whereas if I looked at Netflix, look at Nvidia, there's a lot of technical damage being done on that chart. So here, it looks fine, right? Here's your, here's your flag pattern that you guys can see, right? Here's the bottom range of the flag. And Apple certainly has more potential to move lower. Sure, it can move once again back to the bottom of the flag area, right? Here's the top of your flag area. It can move down in that direction, but you can imagine what's going to happen if the NQs or NASDAQ continues to fall, right? What's going to happen? Well, there's going to be problems in the markets, right? So, okay, so I think we're back up. It's been kind of stuttering the internet here, so but what you can see is if Apple does come down to around 213, chances are the markets are going to continue on lower. NQ is already down over 3% today, right? So what do you think is going to happen if Apple goes to 213? Even though it's in a bull flag pattern, markets are going to tumble even more. So Apple, I think, is a safe one, to possibly be in at a support area. But yeah, I'm watching Apple as well. Whoa, okay, so let's take a look at really quickly at what NQ is doing, and you can see NQ, and this is the cascade back to the downside. Can you guys see that downside? And that's what we talked about SPY, right? I told you guys this does not look like a, we started the stream talking about that. This doesn't look like a reversal area. And let me just take a look at this. And we still don't have a reversal. This is no good in my opinion. This is going to continue on lower just from today's pattern. So who's taking the technical damage? Let's take a look at NVIDIA really quick. This one is taking technical damage. 1 year chart, NVIDIA is supposed to has like price targets, I believe, in the 300, right? 300s. What's happened to this chart? Completely oversold. Whether this is justified or not, we'll have to come back and debate it. Will this one recover? I think this one will, but if markets are not stable, this is taking technical damage. Problems with NVIDIA, right? Another one that's problematic, Micron. This one has big trouble right now, right? Looking at the 3-year weekly chart, we're seeing a cascade move back down to this support level of around 32.40. So be careful. That's still $3.50 to $4 away. So this one has a lot of technical damage done to it. Netflix, I can go on and on, but let's take a look at a couple of your other tickers. Let's take a look at Tesla. So Tesla was one that is keeping nicely. So you're wondering, well, why is that? So I believe, people are thinking that Tesla earnings is today. People are thinking that they'll first time take a profit. So, this is, once again, people who are in Tesla are more, in my opinion, in a visionary sense. They feel like Tesla has a great future based off of what they're trying to do right now. They don't care how much really money that Tesla borrows at the moment, but they care about in the long term, Tesla's outcome will be positive and it's going to go, 300, 400, so on and so forth. So that's why you guys have Tesla. There's a lot of short pressure, but there's also buying pressure. So you get this lopsided back and forth. But Tesla right here, where the markets are going lower, Tesla's maintaining this point. That's interesting. And of course, earnings are coming out. So we want this to perhaps play out first. Perhaps it will surge. Perhaps it will go down. This is a hard tell, right? Based off of just the market's action right now and where Tesla's situated. So, all right. Thank you for that call out. And then I'm not sure about the quality right now. I think it's hit or miss. So hopefully you guys are enjoying this. All right, let's talk about IBM, right? IBM is another one. Of course, here's earnings, right? And whether it was good or not. Okay, so whether it was good or not, the market was pushing lower. So what can you guys see from earnings season so far? Earnings season, positive earnings, FANG stocks, they pop up and get sold off, right? So if you can imagine, if they met expectations, if they even have a bad guidance and exceeded expectations, the market is likely to pull it lower just because the market's going lower and all the stocks are pushing lower. So IBM, it looks like it wants to push lower as well. So just, placing caution in these tickers. Microsoft. Let's take a look at Microsoft. I haven't taken, right? This one is also suffering from damage now, right? Right now, let's take a look at Microsoft, right? You have to think, here's earnings, right? Once again, 10/24, it's later today, so that's going to be interesting. But we've already sold off back to the near-term support. What better way? But the one thing is, you know, this candle right here is certainly not good. And there could be lower prices to come in Microsoft just based off this pattern. And, you know, let's take a look at some other tickers. Netflix, right? What technical damage has been done with Netflix? So here's earnings, right? Here's earnings, and you can see how we popped up, right? But we sold off, sold off, sold off. And this was good earnings, right? They beat expectations, but they continued selling off, and perhaps it was guidance, perhaps it was, you know, whatever news that came out. But this, going below the support, not good. So, Luis, do you think we're now in a bear market? My opinion is no. I do not believe that we're in a bear market. Let me take a look. Let me show you SPY on the yearly chart just to see where we're at right now. And in my opinion, we are going to have high buying pressure coming off of this area. So the lower we go, I think, I'm going to make an arrow for you guys. The lower we go, the higher the buying pressure there is to push it higher. The question is, since we've broken the support, first of all, the length of time it will take before, you know, our rally back higher. Well, remember, midterms is, I believe, on November 6th. So you got to keep that in the back of your mind. That's still around 2 weeks away. So we could still fall perhaps 1 week, perhaps a little longer, or find the bottom at the area before we move higher. The time component is very important in my opinion, because if we have time for the markets to drop, the markets can drop. That's my point. So yeah, that's interesting. Let's take a look at, and what are we going here? Visa. So Visa has been in a very solid pattern, and you know, the Visa's chart is better looking. You know, you can see that this was the low, 133.83, right? Right now we're only at 136.49. So we haven't broken the low, which was on 10.11. And 10.11 was the first really cascade sell-off, or the impulsive sell-off on the minute candle that we saw on the S&P 500. And so since we haven't reached that low, this is looking better than the other charts. I like it. Visa is looking good. Does that mean you're going to take a long position? You know, that's something you have to consider. But, you know, overall, this trend looks better than a trend, let's say, NVIDIA, for example, right? So just place caution. I'll also take you guys quickly to crude oil just to show you, you know, what the markets did after the sell-off. Look at the sell-off, guys. Here's crude oil. Talked about it yesterday in terms of a rebound, right? Yesterday we saw crude oil lower 4%, right? Over 4%. And today I said it wouldn't be unusual to see a rebound like 1 to 2 percentage points higher. We did see that. We went over 1%, but what did we do after? Well, the market started coming down significantly, breaking support levels, and now we're pushing lower, right? So that isn't that interesting. So I'm very curious because we're moving really quickly. And look at SPY, right? This is the panic selling that is occurring right now. So while we try to maintain this video quality, you can see SPY right now pushing to new lows. And this is the, you know, one of the reasons why I want to talk about, you know, this crucial moment is because and I don't even know why my internet's so slow right now. Is it because like there's so much trading going on in the markets that it's impacting my internet performance? So hopefully you guys can hear me, but can you guys see this? Look at this. Look at the sell-off right now. Here's your cascade sell-off. Now let's see. I'm monitoring this really closely just to make sure we're not attempting to hit a near-term bottom. Okay, so just bear with me. So I guess this is active trading if you're trading this. I'm just watching this really carefully. So based off of the movement up to now, this is still signaling this is not a bottom, right? This is not a bottom just yet, and I think there's still lower prices to come for SPY. thanks for looking at Tesla. Can you do Facebook as well? Yeah, yeah. Give me a moment while I take a look at SPY, because I think everyone, if you guys are watching this with me on the charts, you guys can see this sell-off. Just be on the lookout. And let's take a look at Facebook really quick. Yeah, this is no good. Yeah, Facebook is looking like it wants to go lower. I show you guys the support level that it's broken in a definitive fashion, which was at the low of this candle of 150, around 150. So now that it's moving lower, I did do fib on Facebook, and fib on Facebook did show us around, here's the 141.18, 117.40. I'm not saying that those levels are achievable, but those are possible areas of support we would look at should we actively close below this level. So just be careful, and I have a lot of things to take a look at. Hold on, let's take a look at SPY really quickly. Let's see. So you guys can see SPY, right? This is not a bottom. This is not a bottoming formation, and is likely to continue on lower. So, and today is really the day. That's where seeing the sell-off. We were not able to keep within my range, and hence this is going to occur if we're not going to keep within my range. So just be careful. We're seeing the Dow. So here, guys, this is what you guys see when there's panic selling going on, right? But have we done a capitulation sell going forward right now? No. And hence, that's why we're steadily dropping and dripping and dripping and dripping. And this is going to continue to bleed further. This does not look like a reversal. Let's take a look. AAL. What is AAL? Oh, is this indices? What is AAL? Are you talking about American Airlines, or I'm not sure which one that is. I really think that this downtrend is just a warning sign from the big guys ahead of midterm election. They are holding the market hostage. Possibly, exactly. So, market volatility before the midterms and after midterms. What do people get a sense of, regardless of which candidate goes into office after midterms, right? Or after any election? There is generally a sense of ease. There's a sense of possibly new leadership, right? And the markets are kind of reflecting that sentiment at that time. So usually, when we see new leadership, markets start recovering. The only problem, like I said, is do we have the time component playing out? And because time is still 2 weeks away, markets are now seeing that drop. So I'm going to take you guys back. I'm just really curious at SPY right now, because if we do see that sell-off, that capitulation sell-off, I do want to be, taking and finding that area where we start that area. But so far, this is not good, guys. This is going to continue lower. Just looking at this chart. You think we'll open lower and continue the move tomorrow? No. So here's the deal with this, right? It's really hard to pinpoint whether we're going to go lower or higher by tomorrow, because futures, you guys can imagine, after today's close, it's going to be fluctuating left and right, up and down, right? But the thing is, are we oversold below the 20? We are oversold, but you guys can see that we have the force pushing down, right? And we can recover a bit of it. We don't even have to recover all of it before we come on down. Perhaps we get back to the 269.42 area before we sell off again, right? That could certainly happen. So, just be on the lookout for that. SPX. Okay, so that's the S&P 500 index. Wow. What a move. Yeah, that is a pretty wild move today. So, okay. Yeah. So here we are situated right here at 2675. Let's take a look. Here is 2600, which is our major support area. Wow, we're getting really close to that area. And because I don't see SPY reversing right now, this one all of a sudden has a higher likelihood that we'll hit that area near the 2600. We don't have to hit it exactly, But because of today's movement, I think there's going to be more selling going on. Let's take a look at intraday SPY again. And see, can you guys see that? See, this is why you shouldn't guess a bottom, right? Because when you guess a bottom, if you don't know what you're looking for, chances are you're going to be wrong, right? So, let the bottom settle out because we didn't keep over the support. Here's the cascade fall down. I just felt that it was really important for everyone to know, right? Because we've talked about potential trends, and now all of a sudden we're seeing a cascade sell-off. Have to be here for you guys. I'm here for you guys just to, help you guys make the best decisions, to be honest. So, okay, so SPY, this is not a bottom. So let's take a look at AAL. American Airlines. Now, airlines has not been doing well, and the market is not helping the airlines at all. So, this is going to continue to go lower. We have earnings coming up tomorrow. Okay, so big problems here. Let's actually zoom out and take a look at this. Zooming, yeah, there's this is not good. It's not good right now. This one's going to continue lower as well. So just be careful with that one. I'm not sure about the stream quality, so hopefully you guys are staying in here with me. I might be streaming for a while. I don't know. Do you guys want me to stream for a while? Because I'm curious as to where we will go by close today. Obviously, this is the panic selling that is occurring right now. But let's take a look at this. Yeah, this is guys. Any move to the upside will eventually get sold off in this kind of scenario. Looking at that. Yeah, so I kind of covered this the scenario. Do we think we'll open lower? That's a hard one to tell because look at the indices today. Look at these, right? Dow down over 400 points so far. We got the Nasdaq and the IWM small caps leading the charge down. That's no good. And then we have here Nasdaq down over 3%. So it's hard to say whether we'll open lower, right? Because we can certainly have a rally back to the upside. Just because we dipped 3.7% on Nasdaq futures today doesn't mean we can, make back 1.5% tomorrow. We certainly can, but you guys have to imagine if we make up 1.5% tomorrow, lose 3.5% today, your net is still quite a bit lost, right? So just keep that in mind. So I think, after this kind of move, we might even open higher tomorrow and possibly even go higher tomorrow. But now that we've broken below support, that's the time in which we need a new bottoming process. That is the process in which this was not the bottom. Now we have to form a new bottom. Now what do we have to do? The markets basically has to start from scratch and revamp this entire process, in my opinion. Unless we can close into my boxed area. So, we still have 23 minutes to go. If we can close within my boxed area, that'll be interesting. But, yeah, that's no good. This is a broken chart right here. Okay, Kevin, did you do gold yet? So no. So Forex GC, I told you guys. For gold, let's take a look. So here's gold, right? The chart doesn't look too bad. Actually, it's actually pushing a little higher now. I was trying to look for, and you guys know me, I really want to pinpoint my positions well. So I was really looking for a retest of the support, at the very least, like a candle or a tail candle to 1217. It never happened, and it's moving higher. And the only thing about this is, when you look at gold, you're taking a look at JNUG, right, which is the ticker that follows gold. There's just something lopsided about this ticker. Can you guys see that? Something interesting, something that doesn't pan out to me. It shows that, Forex GC might want to go lower, but something about this is telling us that, even though we're consolidating, we could push higher, but I'm still waiting possibly for that last wave and retest of the support before I consider that entry point. So, that's just interesting. So I'm not in gold just yet. Thanks for the question. All right, let's take a look back to SPY, because this is something I'm monitoring very closely. Where are we now? Okay, yeah, so yeah, this is gonna get sold off, and let's take a look. Do you guys have any other tickers for me? In the meantime, stay till 4. Okay, so here's an interesting one. I think here's drip, right, which pretty much correlates with inverse crude oil, but here's drip moving up significantly. So this one, look for higher prices in drip in the future as well as crude oil falls. What a move by drip today. So drip, this is its time. You guys can see when it's that time period, it's going to move higher. And in my opinion, there's possible likely higher prices to coming with drip. So it's an interesting one to look at. Stag. Okay. Tony. Thank you, Tony, for that ticker. So, guys, this will, instead of the stock talk that I usually do, this will be the stock talk for everyone. So, hopefully, you enjoyed this video. I wanted to do it live today just to change up the pace. And, it's not often that we see this massive drop like SOXL down over 16%, LABU down 18%, indices falling, 2 to 3%. It's not every day we see that. So, doing it for you guys. Let's take a look at this. Yeah, so this one is holding up relatively well under pressure, under market pressure. The thing about this is when we're, this could move higher, but at the same time, you want to keep in mind that this is getting wedged in, right? So I think while we could move higher, here's the wedge, if you guys see it. Can you guys see that? Here's the higher low, but we're going to get wedged in at some point. It's going to make a big move up or down. So you want to be careful. I think there's a little more potential upside, but I think if you got your profit, you're good to go with Stag. And another thing is, when the markets are pushing lower, and this one, is stagnant, kind of, moving higher. Just want to be a little cautious when the markets do push higher. This one, might drop a little bit. So just keep that in mind. In the meantime, like I do have a couple, here's Tesla right here. That's interesting. Moving down a little bit. I think we are bouncing back a little bit. So let's take a look at what we have so far. Let's see. Nope. I don't think this is good. Okay, so let's take a look. I'll talk about Caterpillar. How long will the Chinese impact last? That's a great question, and that can last for a very long time, and hence this Chinese stocks, and especially in this in this market correction period, Chinese stocks haven't been doing well in the first place, right? And with this market correction period, it's just not going to do well in this case. So I would wait for some sort of bottom or some sort of impulsive move back to the upside. No change in that market just yet. So I'll tackle Caterpillar, Ranjit, in a moment. Quest Money, thank you, Stay. If we are down on SPY, what are your thoughts of selling now and target re-entry lower? So again, I can't give you guys investment advice, right? I'm just here, I'm here just to, I'm talking about trends and stuff. I'm really here to educate and to help people, but I'm not giving investment advice, right? The thing about this is selling now, and you think about that, I feel like after this move, one thing is you could possibly sell now, right? Second, you could wait for a rally and sell into that rally. That rally is going to occur. If you wanted to sell your position, selling into that rally might be a better option. You have to, weigh how much risk versus reward that, how much can you prevent losing versus, where are we right now? I have a, arrow. This arrow is here for a reason. I think once we're getting into this vicinity, we're going to have buying pressure pushing us to the upside. The question is whether the time component will align with the price. Don't sell. Monica, join the chat late. So sorry if someone discussed it, but WBA seemed to be doing well until very recently. Hey, Monica, so welcome back. Glad to see you here. This is Walgreens Boot Alliance. So sell off, right? Yeah. So, the thing about this is you guys can see that we didn't get all the way to the top, but we did try to hit the top. And now we're starting the sell-off. Now, I agree it's been doing well until recently, but look at the magnitude of this candle. Can you guys see that? All of a sudden on the daily charts, a 3% loss. So 3% loss, whenever we have that sort of magnitude candle, there's usually a follow-through move, right? It doesn't mean that the 20-period moving average has to hold as support. It can follow through and continue on lower. So just be very cautious as we're nearing the top if you're looking at this one. Stocks always... Thank Luis. Oh gosh. Paul, how about you, Kevin? Are you personally eyeing any stocks? Yeah, so I have, I am eyeing some stocks, of course, and of course in the course I have a list of stocks I'm looking at. But the right now is, we don't see now that we've dropped significantly, it obviously told us that the support or the bottoming area wasn't the bottom, and just because we saw that break today, and hence lower prices to come, more consolidation is necessary in order for another possible bottom to be formed. I still think we're going to find some sort of buying pressure over here, but just based off of today's impulsive move, you guys can see, look at this, right? Every bounce. Oh wait, hold on. Oh, this one's interesting. This is getting interesting. Okay, so every bounce intraday today has been been sold off after that, right? Okay, so we're going to be monitoring this pattern really closely right here. I wish I can go down some more. I wish I go down more. Okay, so, well, SPY's going down more, so you're getting your wish. Wait, hold on. Let's... Okay, so, all right. AMD earnings report. Yeah, we talked about AMD, right? This is, is the market conditions in the resistance area at $30 on the monthly chart. Perfect scenario for AMD to fall. So, there's AMD for you. $200 NVIDIA is very tempting. NVIDIA, near $200. I agree, very tempting. But the thing is, NVIDIA, what happens if it gets to 180? Wow, you'd be like, wow, that's a very tempting price too, right? So, just looking at the yearly chart, once again, this isn't investment advice, but this is a tremendous down move. And when we have a tremendous down move, you just want to place caution as to buying into like a falling rock, like catching a big boulder. Like, are you going to able to catch that big boulder? Are you going to sustain that move? That's a question that you have to evaluate. What one book? Thanks, David. Well, there's a couple of books I've read that has helped with both day trading and swing trading. It's now or never. The world isn't. Yeah. Okay. So, all right. Let's take a look at SPY, because let's see where we are right now. Okay. So herein lies the problem right here. Okay, we got some massive selling volume coming in right now. Problem is, where are the buyers? What? Right? After this sort of move, aren't we supposed to, push higher after this? And hence, we don't see a follow through. If we don't see a follow through in this pattern, that's another problem, right? Hence, just be careful. I'm loving these discounts while they fall. Yeah, so remember, the stocks are really getting slashed in price. I agree. They're getting slashed in price because of today's movement. But just keeping in mind that even though we're getting slashed in price, the markets are continuing to slash those in prices, right? It's continuing to drop. So hold on, let me... All right, let's take a look at various charts because this is. Here's the IWM. Your near-term support for IWM is 146.27. 146.27. We are here right there, right? We're pretty much here. So we need to be able to close above that area for the IWM. Let me just tell you. On a weekly basis. So again, Friday is quite a ways off. Can we dip further and then recover? We can. But yeah, that's, this is the selling that it's going to punch a hole. Okay, so guys, you're looking at SPY right now, and I've been streaming for over 40 minutes. From 40 minutes around, the time where we broke the support level, I've streamed, and SPY has come down yet another almost 1%, 0.75%. So, let's take a look at. Oh, this is. Hold on, guys. Let's take a look. All right, we may be forming a short-term bottom around now. Okay, so around now is the short-term bottom, and that's just how it is. You guys can see that we made a tail candle. This is a short-term bottom. So let's see if this will hold. Will we have a continuation push hard? This is something that I'm monitoring, when we're dropping so much. This is something I will be monitoring. See, we're pushing lower. So are we going to have any follow through in that selling? We'll have to see. But this is kind of the, at least the near-term capitulation scenario that I like to look for. Now, of course, if we... like we're doing right now, we're completely negating the previous sell-off. Then, we need some follow-through. Where are the buyers? Where are the buyers in the markets? Like said, more sell-off, the stronger the upside. That is an accurate point. So, Quest Money, you made a very good point. The bigger the sell-off, the bigger the rally that occurs in the future, right? The bigger the rally that we move higher. I do agree with that point. The question is, where is that rally going to begin? Now let's take a look. We did make a low here. We have TVIX. All right, so TVIX. So I just got a text from so TVIX. Here is TVIX over at $52. Okay, now here's the big deal with volatility right now. I think I was looking at the yearly chart when I told you guys that, and this was two days ago when this wasn't that plausible, but now that we've broken over it, here's the 200 period moving average acting as a resistance line in the past. That corresponds to a $55 level. I told people in the past, $55 level, that would be the resistance. We're at 52. Keep that in mind. As we're pushing higher, we can spike over it, sure, but this has acted as a resistance in the past, and now we're really seeing panic settling in. We have the Dow falling over 500 points. So take a look at SPY really quick. Okay, so big problem right now in the markets, as you guys can see. So what I was looking for right now at this tail candle right here, I was looking for some buyers coming in. This was at 3:50 p.m. I was looking for some buyers that come in. We didn't have buyers coming in to follow through on this move. Therefore, and look at this, more downside to come. So let's take a look at some of the stocks on here. So Nvidia has, a hit under $201. Wow. Intel, Nvidia can't recover. Watch the earnings in 1 hour. It's going to be amazing. So who do we have reporting today? Is Intel one of them? That INTC, I believe. Is Intel reporting, or when does who's? So I think some of you guys know. I think so. Intel reports tomorrow. I think Amazon reports tomorrow as well. 1025. AMD today? I don't think AMD better than Intel. Looks like the Bears overpowering the Bulls. Yes, definitely for now that is the problem. Let's take a look at SPY. So we're just gonna be going to the close. So we will be streaming to the close, and I'll tell you my thinking 5 minutes from now, all the way to the close, as to what I believe will happen based off of today's close. So for those of you who joined in this almost hour-long conversation and live stream, I know a lot of you guys wanted me to do it. Thank you everyone who's been chatting, who's on the YouTube channel. It is your valuable time, and I'm glad that you guys are able to spend some time, even on a weekday afternoon, with me. So thank you so much for for all of your support. But I wanted to come on just to talk about the selling that's occurring. Okay, so what are we seeing on the minute candle now? We're continuing to see that selling occur. Okay, this is... Hold up, guys. Let's take a look. So this is not a support line. This was an arrow that I drew, and I was like, what is that line coming up? So, okay. Whoa. Let's push that back a little bit. Okay, so, right. So what are we seeing? We're okay, so now we're looking for a reversal, guys. This is the point when we're looking for a short-term reversal. Are we going to have buyers coming in at this point? We should, under normal market circumstances, we should have buyers coming in after this sell-off at 10 or 3:55 p.m. But are we going to have a follow-through? See, this is the problem here. How come we don't have buyers coming in and overcoming this previous low? That's a problem. What program do you use? Discord. So Space goes, the Discord is for the member in the course. I might be doing one in the future for everyone. Maybe, but that's for the future. Discord server, yeah. And then thank you. You're welcome. What program do I use? I use the Thinkorswim platform. Thinkorswim platform. So, yeah, you guys can see this, right? We have more selling going on, and this is not a low, once again. So, we were looking for after 3:55, keep saying 3:55 p.m., looking for that push to the upside, needed bulls to recover perhaps a 0.5% at perhaps in 1 minute, perhaps in 2 minutes, but it needed to be a massive recovery on SPY. If that doesn't occur, more selling occurs. So, okay, so now we're at, and this is how we monitor this on a minute-to-minute basis. So now we're looking for the same thing. Are we able to recover 0.5% in 1 to 2 minutes? Are we going to able to do that? And if we can do that, then at the very least, I can say we have a short-term bottom, right? Now, let's see. Wow, what a move. NVIDIA broke 200. Incredible. Who would have thought NVIDIA breaking 200 today at least, right? What a move by NVIDIA. Hold on. Let's hold on. Let's take a look at the price. Oh. Okay, so looking at SPY intraday, and we're still seeing more selling. So there we go. Okay, so 264, that's not going to do it now. It's going to go lower. Okay. All right, so the question is, where are we going to close? It actually doesn't even really matter where we close now, because the bulls basically ran out of time at the end of the day even to push this higher. So let's see how much we're going to be able to push higher by the end of the day. So there's possibly some short covering going on at this point. You guys can imagine, right? Why short covering? Because tomorrow we could have a rally. We dipped over 4% on NQ. We could have a rally of 1%, 2%, and that's, thinking about that, that's actually a pretty big rally if we do that. I'm shaking my head because, this doesn't feel like a bottom to me. Ugh. So, all right. So we ended at 265. 26. Still, I can't even. So many trades going on. It's not even stabilized yet. A big rally tomorrow. Yeah. So the thing is, we could have a rally. We are severely oversold, so we could have a rally tomorrow, at the very least to the, possibly to the resistance area around this area when we started breaking down. So 265.21. So you can see after market, we're already trying to push higher. But what really matters, in my opinion, is, after market, sure, we're going to push higher and rally, but we've already lost significant proportions, and we closed at 265.50. That's interesting. Okay. Around 265.20, which is the start of these candles back here. So new trend, 265.21. All right, guys. So thank you everyone for watching this video. Of course, I'll be monitoring the markets after market as well. For those in the course, be on the lookout for more of my, kind of tidbits, and I talk about things left and right and give you guys various charts. So keep on the lookout for that. Hope you guys enjoyed the hour-long session with me. Have yourself a great day. Appreciate everyone joining. Hit a like button. I think there's still a like button on this video. You guys know what to do if you enjoyed it. And I'll see you guys tomorrow for Thursday Stock Talk. Okay, guys. What an exciting day. See you guys tomorrow. And happy trading.